Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, picking up where I left off in my Architect series here. I've got some feedback to go through from you guys for this episode, and I want to start by talking about something that Berlin dude mentioned when I was up here binding the portal in the last episode, getting ready to move it back to my capital. So it's down here now. That's where my people are exploring in. But when I was binding it, I was right next to it was right next to this player's city, who is kind of tentatively my friend, I guess. Um, and it was in the three-turn binding process, and then I left it unguarded. Apparently, other players can like move in on it and bind it if they want to, even if somebody else has already started binding it. Like you can just step onto it, presumably with no diplomatic penalty, and stop that process. I didn't know that. I did find out that I wasn't really in any danger of that happening because Miker 5905 clarified that the AI is programmed to ignore portals before turn 15. So they wouldn't have done that. I guess when they first released these portals, the AI was like rushing them all down and claiming them too quickly. So they gave them like a 15 turn delay before they do that to give human players a chance to grab some, which is nice for me in this case. But yeah, in the future, I'm probably going to want to keep a unit stationed on those. You can even like start binding with a hero and then put your scout on it or something, like just as long as you have a unit there to prevent somebody else from stepping on it. Um, from Also from Miker 5905, it might be worth putting. So this is actually, you know what? I'm gonna go after that comment last because there's a little more to that one that I want to talk about. So let's talk about from Palatinat. Another thing with those, or Palatinat, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but another thing with those portals, when I had my leader and bound it, if I wanted to sit my leader on it, once it was done binding, I could have put my leader in it and then moved it back to the capital. This is something that'll probably maybe make more use of later in the series, depending on how things pan out. But you can use these portals to move entire armies. Like you could build an outpost and then stick your portal in it, and then pop a whole army out. Basically anywhere you want on the map. I think there may be a delay on moving them around. I don't remember for sure, but you can absolutely do that. So I could have just warped my leader home with the portal. I don't necessarily mind that I took the long way one walk back, because I did get this outpost out here, which gave me kind of like a soft claim on a lot of territory, and I think will likely prevent Imbria from trying to cram another city in this area. But yeah, definitely an option worth noting. From Chris Lighthawk, several things. A correction that Chris has made multiple times, and I keep screwing this up, but positive city stability only boosts food production and draft. Negative city stability affects basically everything. So, like, positive city stability doesn't have any effect on these resources, it affects these resources. And an easy way to kind of remember that is like, there's this little dividing line in between these. So you can think about stability affecting the three to the left, but nothing to the right of that line, unless it drops into negative territory, and then it starts negatively impacting these. So, as long as it's positive, I don't really need to worry about it, and it will at least help with production and growth. But it's not going to help me get out of my little financial crisis that I've dug myself into here. Um, Also, from Chris, I could sell unused items to my friend. We'll come back to that in a second. And then something I didn't know. I had no idea about this. Apparently, if you're in the underground, diggable earth down here, which I don't know if you can see. I don't know if it shows it in the fog of war, but sometimes when you have units down here, if you pay attention to the terrain around you, sometimes the dirt will have like little sparkles in it. That basically means there's a resource node in there. I didn't know that. I've never noticed that before, so that's very good to know. I'll try to keep an eye out for that moving forward, because I probably will expand some borders down that cave eventually. Um, let's see here. Next up would be from Death Note Hell. Just a tip about the Shade Makers. It's something I did accidentally in a battle in the last episode, but when the Shade Makers use their AoE attack, that apparently clears like small bushes and stuff. Um, so it can make follow-up shots easier. What's that attack called? Incarnate Shot. Um, yeah, that'll clear like small obstacles and stuff, like bushes and things. I'm not sure about trees. Maybe it'll clear trees. It definitely clears bushes. So that can make follow-up shots easier, and actually inadvertently made it easier for me to hit a target in the last episode, basically completely by accident. I didn't even realize why it happened, but I had destroyed a bush by accident with that. So good to know. And finally, from Tohab and Roderick, territorial claims staying intact after portal movement might be intentional. So I kind of chalked this up to being a bug after I moved the portal. The fact that Imbria has a claim on this province down here, when it's like all the way over by my stuff now. I guess the claims, it kind of makes sense because, like, okay, I took the portal from her. That would be kind of a jerk move, and then I moved it all my way to my capital, and so now I kind of have to like deal with the diplomatic fallout from that. Kind of makes sense. I sort of think, in my opinion, it makes more sense to have the act of claiming the portal be the problem, not like them to still have claims on it once and back in my territory. That's kind of why I was confused, but I guess this is just how it's implemented, so that's fine. We'll deal with it. Once I have all the territory kind of claimed, um, then I won't have to worry about it anymore. But until then, I wonder if, like, if I took the territory but then moved the portal to another city and it all got disconnected, if Imbria would still have those claims on it. I'm not sure. Probably. I think territorial claims would usually stick. Um, but just something I thought I would point out because that kind of threw me off guard in the last episode. And then I want to return back to from Miker 5905, and this will be the last piece of feedback before we jump into the gameplay for this episode, because this is something worth giving some thought to. With this outpost here, I could turn this into a city. It could be my third city. It would be an absolutely terrible city, but it would technically be a city. I am hesitant to do that because when I was talking to Mike about this in the comments, I was under the impression that there was like a wonder down here or something, like just down in that area. There is not. I was thinking of this one down here, down my other cave entrance. So even like down the cave, there's not really anything that good. There's sunless terrain here that's going to be a problem. The only redeeming qualities of maybe putting a city here is that it could reach out and grab the silver tongue fruit there, which I'm going to get a copy of silver tongue fruit anyway from my city state. So that's not like a huge factor for me. I can't do anything about it anyway on this turn because I'm at 105 Imperium. You'd need 200 to make a city. I really want to try to get one up across the water somewhere. It won't be down in this direction because I can already see the borders of a city-state down here. So basically my hope is to sail east, I think, and try to get one across the water. I do see there's a tower here, so there's at least some land out there. It looks like I see steam clouds, so there's probably lava in that area. I want to explore a little bit. There could also be a spot up here in between these mountains, and maybe even towards that thing. So I want to explore a little bit more, and I have a couple turns to do it anyway, just because it's going to take some time for me to even generate the Imperium to consider making a city. I don't want to make a crappy city. I would rather take my time and I might be able to play this whole game with just 3 main primary cities, and then have the 4th one be like a flex one that I could like maybe temporarily take one or something. For example, a reason you might want to do that is if for some reason I do end up fighting my vampire friend here at some point, which hopefully I won't have to, but we'll see how things develop. If, like with the vampires, if you take their cities, they have a building in there called Desecration Chamber. That's what's spreading all the sunless terrain crap everywhere. In order to remove that, you actually have to absorb the city yourself and then deconstruct that Desecration Chamber. I learned this the hard way, that if you just turn them into a vassal, that Desecration Chamber stays and it'll keep spreading the terrain. So the only way to get rid of that is by taking the city yourself as your city and then deconstructing it. You can release it as a vassal afterwards, that's fine, but until then, you're stuck with that stupid sunless stuff, so... But yeah, okay, now I'm winded. Let's get back into the gameplay here, starting with what Chris Lighthawk mentioned about selling an item. I think I could probably do that. So if I go talk to Imbria here and click on negotiate, I only have one item that I can sell, which is these this 1 defense cuisses, or because I don't know how to pronounce that word, but if I sell that, I can get 30 gold out of it. So let's look at what that 30 gold would allow me to do. I believe, so yeah, Sunfall's already producing stuff, so it's not in any need. And I'm not going to make units out here at Astral Peak. So it'd basically be allowing Astral Peak to make a building. And looking at the buildings, the only one that I could build with that would be the workshop, which is not terrible, but not great, because I would end up with 39 gold if I make that sale. So it's not enough to get, like, excuse me, a storehouse or anything like that, or an architect's institute, which I would really rather have. How long before I have another hero that could potentially make use of that extra defense item? 8 turns, if I have the money for them. I think there's not enough of a reason for me to go for that, as opposed to just producing merchandise on this turn and then building the Architect Institute, which is going to boost my production by just as much, but also get me 15 research on top of it. Because if I wait one more turn, I'll have 57 gold, and that's enough to cover the 53 gold cost. I think I would rather rate the turn and get this. It's a good idea from Chris, and I should keep an eye out on what items I can sell. Maybe that 30 gold difference will be a big deal at some point. But for this turn, I think I'd rather just wait a turn and then go for the Architect Institute. It's just a better building. And I am getting that nice discount on it, so I can get some mileage out of that. So I think with that being said, I will move on to the next turn. We're not going to summon anything else. Can't afford upkeep on much else. I'll let that archer finish. Might try to squeeze one more guardian out of it too, because they're pretty crucial for this build. And then I'm going to be just like focusing on gold production stuff in my cities. Also, if I can get my armies up here to clear this gold mine, that would go a long way towards getting my economy back on track. But for now, we go to the next turn. So let's see. The main thing that I was concerned about, okay, they're not at war yet, but I believe, yeah, Sanguine made a declaration of rivalry with me. What about Imbria? Can I see somebody else's declarations? With, like, can I see Imbria's current status with Sanguine? I feel like the two of them weren't getting along. I thought I remembered them making a declaration of rivalry. It was part of my justification for buddying up with her. Because basically the enemy of Sanguine is my friend. I never get along with Sanguine. Okay, Sanguine got a seal. Don't really need to worry about the seals yet, but they'll become more important later in the game, I presume. I'm going to get this guy back into the water so I can start exploring. Oh, okay. So that is all connected to that piece of land. But it's separated by mountains, which could be important. Yeah, that's kind of handy, because I'm sort of looking at this all as a claim for this city. I should be able to reach it later in the game with the province claiming expansive reach bonus. If I can get enough food growth out of Astral Peak anyway. I did rename that, by the way, so you're not crazy. It used to be Zigguratum, but I got tired of saying that, so I just thought Astral Peak sounded cooler. I did get a message. We may not be so different after all. I did something that made her happy. I don't know what it was, but you can usually find out. Oh, actually, overall, our relationship dropped quite a bit. I think it's because I have weaker research, maybe? Could be something to do with my alignment, too, but it's probably the weaker research thing. My relations improved by 150, but it was at like 300 last turn, so something happened where she's actually much less happy with me now. But if I can at least keep it positive for the time being, that'd be good. Alright, I believe I can go into the mirror fields now. We just cleared this, which wasn't too bad. And I'm going to try to connect that up with my capital as soon as I can. In fact, is my capital ready to grow yet? No, 3 turns. Kind of a little slow on the growing there. Hopefully we can pick that up. But yeah, let's go ahead and clear this out. We might even get a nice reward for this too, which could help jumpstart our economy. So let me explore. I can't do anything about the reflections. This is a high-risk battle. This one, maybe I want to... Okay, hang on. What would this do? In the upcoming battle, Mirror Veil attackers. All attacking units have Mirror Veil. I'd reflect damage. I want to see, like, what's in here. I can always back out. There's 2 Mage Banes. Ooh. Yeah, that army's substantially tougher than what was... what was in the last one, even though they're both Bronze Wonders. I hate to say it, but I might have to come back to this later. I don't think that that's a reasonable fight to attempt. Yeah, I can't do that right now. That's way too risky. All right, I'll have to come back later with better stuff, which is fine. I guess go back. Man, I feel like I wasted a whole turn of movement there. I mean, because I did. Maybe I should have checked it out with this guy first. In the meantime, we can go clear this. That's a doable battle. And then I can get some resources and production out of that. What I really need is gold, though. Alright, well, I'm going to clear it while I'm down here anyway, because may as well. Could always put a mine on it later. Get these guys up here. They're still kind of healing up, so I'll let them stay in friendly territory. And I'll have them stand out there. Alright, and then it's exploring with my seafarer guy here. Well, there is something over here. What do we have? Okay, what do we have over here? There is haste berries. That's something I want. That would be the second copy that I'm looking for. So already we may have a contender for 3rd city spot. It's going to depend on what that scout finds. If I can grab that tower there, that should tell me everything I need to know about that island. Or potentially piece of larger landmass, I'm not really sure. Would love to get purging arrows, but everything's a little too tight resource-wise now, so I'm just going to have to wait. I do have the money to build the Architect Institute, so let's not forget to do that. That takes me back down to 4 gold. I am dirt poor. Well, that's what I get for that. Was the price of friendship, I suppose. Or at least not enemy ship. Alright, let's go to the next turn. I'm really kind of bummed. I was hoping I could wrap up everything in this area and just never have to think about coming back to it, but the mirror fields there are going to be tougher than what I expected, and I really could have used the 20 mana per turn that came out of them as well. That Breach Arcanum will be nice, though. It wasn't entirely a waste to come down here. It's kind of on me for thinking that this would be roughly as equivalent in difficulty as this. That was noticeably harder. Alright, am I anywhere close to being able to get advanced logistics? No, we're still a long ways away from that. I could get a mine upgrade, but I don't have any mines yet. So I think I'm going to hold off on that. These 2 upgrades don't really matter. Yeah, I'm going to hang on to the Imperium for now. I could get a second Whispering Stone and give it to one of my cities to keep them happy. I haven't met any other free cities to give it to yet, which is a little odd, actually. Alright, well, for now, I'm going to definitely need you guys' help here, so let's do that. Oh, that's spiders. Those guys are about to evolve. Yeah, they're very close. Okay, cool. Maybe I can get that out of this battle. If I could evolve them, that might make the Mirror Fields battle actually doable if I can manage to get enough XP to evolve them. I don't think I will from this battle, though. No, they're both they need too much. I'll just have to come back later. Alright. Well, I could set this guy... You know, yeah, I probably will, because I'm going for the tower anyway. So yeah, I may as well just grab this now while he's running through, and then I can get the tower on the next turn. I usually like to keep the scouts on the water as long as I can, because they have much greater vision range. It does kind of look like this is maybe a smaller island. It's kind of hard to see for sure, but I do have another Shade Maker now. I'm going to send them down here to join the rest of these armies because there's not really anything else for them to do. I can't afford any other units, so Sunfall is just going to have to do its own thing for now. I am pretty sure that I will have enough to make a market after this turn. I will have exactly enough to make a market if the gold situation pans out. As for you, as much as I would love to land this guy here and claim the Wonderstone on that Astral Dew for Tranquility Pool, I would get smoked because there's things in... There's like defenders in here. Oh, there's... Those guys won't attack you, but there's like red marauding groups that run around this island too, so I just don't want to mess with them. I will patiently sail around if I need to. Okay. I think that's everything. Yep, not buying anything with Imperium, and I'm getting closer to the Rapid Evolution enchantment. Okay. Let's go to the next turn, I suppose. Clear this out, and if I clear that, I'll get a boost in production. It'll let me maybe get most of the way through the next gold building in my capital, assuming that's where the production goes. I'm actually not sure, because technically the production goes to whatever the closest city is. And if you look at like XY coordinates on the map, because this is up north in the Astral Sea or whatever this place is, this is technically closer to my second city in terms of XY coordinates, but it's like, for gameplay purposes, it's closer to my capital, so I'm not sure where this production will go. We can test that and find out though, because Astral Peak is up here. That's 2 turns for the Architects Institute, and Sunfall hopefully has just enough, yes, exactly enough to build that market. And we need anything that generates gold. Now, I would like the production to go towards the market, but I got a feeling it's going to go up here and mostly get wasted, which is kind of a bummer. Maybe I don't build the market in the capital. No, I'm crazy. I need that market. I need the gold. I'll just have to let the extra surplus production go to waste if that's what happens. It'll still save me 2 turns, and then I can just produce merchandise instead. So it's not entirely a waste, but I won't be able to afford to make a market in Astral Peak regardless. So because I would need another farm to boost it along. Yeah, okay. This is the plan. I need to move you guys just slightly closer, and then everybody can join in together for a good time here. I will go ahead and let them have that without a fight. I don't really care enough to lower alignment and get units injured, even though the injuries don't really matter, I guess, at this point. But we'll just take the easy win and then get the heck out of here. There are things on the surface that I need to deal with. Okay, now, where did that production go? Not Sunfall. It did go to Astral Peak, so the XY coordinate's what matters, I guess. We will go ahead and produce merchandise for now. I am going to build the... what is it called? My Wonder. But I'm going to be doing that in my capital first. And then in Astral Peak, I'll follow... the Monument, sorry. I'll be doing that in my capital first. And then we'll come back and I'll build a second one in Astral Peak eventually. For now, I'll just let Astral Peak do the gold production to try to help get my economy a little back on track, and hopefully they'll be able to build a market here pretty soon, because I want to get markets up quickly. Yeah, okay, so not a lot going on out here except for a seal. There's some good resources on this island, but there's not much in terms of resources on this island. There is a potential city spot on that cave, which would be right next to a wonder. It's not terrible, it's not good either. So I think I need to get this guy back on the water and keep exploring. Maybe something else can connect to that island. I mean, this is a nice spot if you look at all the things it's adjacent to. Because I could get extra bonus from the haste berries. It kind of gives me control over another seal that I most likely won't engage with myself. But, I don't know. I'll have to give this some thought. I think there's likely better spots out there. Ancient Wonders grant 5 knowledge income for each tier when they have annexed to a city. That I will be able to take advantage of soon. I think that would be 10 knowledge for the... So I would get... I'll show you in a second, but enchantment and transformation spells cost 25% less mana and world map casting points. Okay, so if I took this one, that gives me the increased knowledge. The Ancient Wonder down here, because it's per tier, right now it's a Bronze Ancient Wonder, so it would give me 5 more knowledge for a total of 20. But if I upgrade that, do the mana upgrade on it to make it a Silver Ancient Wonder, it would give me 10 bonus. So I'd be stacking a little more research. Probably worth considering how many Ancient Wonders I have access to, which is going to be at least 2 of them, because there's one up here. Potentially a third one there, and then potentially a 4th one here, depending on what I decide to do with this area. So it's kind of hard to say. Already I think that island's a better city spot than putting one here, so I think it's less likely I'm going to stick one out there. Yeah, there's some of the red marauders that I was talking about. As long as I stay in the water, I'll be okay. I got my bathhouse in Sunfall, which is going to help the city grow a little faster, which is good. I can finally get down and at least take this spot and start getting a little extra mana and research out of that. And we'll just be producing merchandise for now. Okay, they're denouncing each other. That's good for me. I want them to fight. Although, because I have a wizard's bond, I could inadvertently get drawn into a war, but we'll see how that pans out. I am at 200 Imperium now, so worth kind of looking over and giving another thought to how I might want to do this. I really kind of am tempted to take the Mines grant income for gold, but or grant bonus gold income, but I don't have any mines. At least not yet. Eventually I'll be able to build one like there, and maybe even 2 of them. But as of right now, I have none, because they don't boost buildings, generally speaking. So I think I'm just going to hold off on that. I am pretty much not going to put a city out here, because already looking at this island, that's a substantially better spot, even though I still don't think it's a good spot. So I have better options, and they're not that far away. So I think I will hold off on that for now, and we'll just save my Imperium up for something else. I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but one thing that's kind of nice is that this Forsaken Cove here, I don't think I'm going to need to really worry about that, as long as I don't want territory in the water out here. So, I mean, like, eventually I will, because if I want to expand this city west, I'm going to have to cross this channel here, and most likely by then they'll have extended their territory up in that direction. But I don't need to worry about them for a long time. In a different game that I was playing, these guys spawned kind of near where I had like an outpost and some city territory, and their borders are all over mine. But they're not attacking me. I think they specifically can only go after things on the water, which is really nice. What does this guy want? Okay, so basically this is a choice. I could just give Imperium to sway them, or just ignore them and let the relationship tick up at its normal rate over time. This is maybe kind of tempting. We're still fairly early in our relationship, so this could potentially help me get them on my side a lot faster. But on the other hand, it's Imperium, and Imperium is not easy to come by. I don't know. Let's see. It's basically 1 turn of Imperium growth. That would probably translate to, over time, multiple turns shaved off getting a Supreme Vassalage. I don't know whether that's worth it or not, simply because I'm not sure how the math on the relationship, like how much that plus 200 actually matters over the next 18 turns. So you guys can correct me if this is the wrong decision. It's simply a math decision, and it's math I don't know, but I'm going to say no and keep my Imperium. Hopefully I'll have opportunities to make them happy later on, but I'm very, very stingy with the Imperium when it comes to giving it away. Okay, this is what I want. Draconic Vitality. That's my first race transformation, and it's a pretty good one. It's a lot of extra health. Alright, now we can get everybody out of this hole in the ground. Actually, what I can do to help move a little faster, because I know my city's borders have grown on this turn, I can hop on down here and slap down a research post right there, and that'll help everybody move through there a little faster. Maybe I should have gone with something other than a research post, now that I think of it, because Sunfall's going to need... Well, there's still other stuff it can build, but I was kind of thinking I wanted to go for that mint, but that's also going to require I get a... I'm going to need another farm, and I'm going to need a mine. So that city's going to have to grow a couple times before I can get that. I may go for the storehouse next to help with the growth, so I think a research post for now is fine. And then I'm probably really going to want to reach out and get that too. I need another source of gold very badly. Alright, let's get you guys out of here. And I think I want to go back towards this gold mine right there. I want to clear that, and while I'm out here, there's a couple other things I could clear, including this, which would potentially boost my relationship with my city-state out there. Yeah, let's go that way. Alright. Go forth, people. I guess you can loop around that way. Alright, and then I want you to go probably north. I'm kind of eyeballing this piece of land up here. As long as no one else is already out there, that could potentially be good. Oh good, there's a gold pickup. Oh, it's beautiful. Give that to me, please. That 63 gold will go a long way. Okay, we're going to end turn with him there, because I don't want to sail into the scary red pirate territory. Rapid Evolution enchantment is available. That's actually a very good enchantment and maybe worth casting. I know these guys are already about to level up, but it also gives them slip away, because it applies to units that have evolved, not just units that evolve. And it's only a base upkeep cost of 2 per unit. I think I can swing this. Yeah, it'll help them get leveled up just a little faster. I wonder if I could... Now that's a silver wonder. That one's going to be substantially harder. I do wonder, though, if I can get those 2 leveled up, maybe, just maybe, I can take that Astra. If I can rank these 2 up into tier, the spider and the copper golem into tier 3s. I don't know. Astras are tough, and the righteous judges are tough. Plus, it could get converted by that Lightbringer. That's still a scary battle. Let's see. I do have 100 gold now, so I probably... Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building the market out here, and I'll build a farm on the next turn after the city expands, which will refund some of the cost, but I can at least get started on the production. Just really try to hit gold hard and get the economy back on track. And if I'm lucky, my other scout, because he's also sailing on the water, will find some more of those nice gold pickups. Let's see, is that... Okay, that is land that I could disembark onto. For the moment, I want to keep him on the water, because I'd like to go down and meet that city-state there. And continue to look for gold pickups. which in my experience are a lot easier to find on the water. Anything good in the Empire development tree? Nothing new anyway, so I'll hold off for now. I might pick up that Whispering Stone depending on what this city-state's diplomatic status is, whether somebody's already working on them or not. Also, you know, they're down here, but there could be a valid spot further north for a city. I don't know. I'll probably have the scout, once I've met the city-state, I'll have him explore over here a bit. I am still trying to find that third city spot. This build can be effective with just 2 cities, but my economy is going to be a lot stronger if I can get a third one. This tends to be a very tall, like building very tall, so you can do a smaller number of very, very powerful cities. But in Age of Wonders, having more cities is pretty much always better. Like, there's no penalty to it as long as you can afford the city cap with the Imperium cost. Yeah, I bet by the time... Oh, what is this? Okay. It's going to be spreading volcanic terrain. That's not ideal for me. Oh, well. Let's see, the fastest way out there is to just take that road north, so we'll do that. Oh, Golem guy might be slowing everybody down here. Yeah, the other 5 of them can move on to this tile with no problems. I might do that just in case I need that tiny bit of extra movement. And then, sorry pal, I think you're getting left behind because everyone can move just a bit further than you. I guess he could go there. Alright, you sail north and see what's out here. Another seal? I'm finding them all over the place in this game. And then you need to go meet this city-state. They are hostile. Okay. Good to know. Well, I certainly can't pay you for peace, but I do want to see if they're buddied up with anyone. No, they don't know anyone else. Or there at least no one else is trying to buddy up with them. There may be a world in which I make peace with them later, but that is not today. Do I want to go underground with you at all? Doesn't look like it. There's too much water down there. Okay, I'm gonna go just straight west and kind of explore around here. I don't like the red glow on everything. It's making it harder to see. Okay, Rapid Evolution enchantment is ready. Let me go ahead and cast that. It's only 5 upkeep per unit. Oh, and it's also going to help the rock evolve faster too. He's still got a little ways to go, but he is going to be getting quite a bit of extra XP per turn, and he's got Slip Away now, so that's cool. What was I thinking? Oh yeah. I knew there was something I didn't want to forget to do. It was building a farm out here, which I guess I'll just take one of these tiles by the hill. I'll take this one because actually, do I want to expand more towards Imbria? Well, I can't expand that far with this city right now, but I do want to take that territory eventually. I think for now, I'll get the area immediately around the city. And then once I've got a good base of farms, I'll start expanding out more in this direction. She doesn't really have borders pushing anything, and this helps me kind of keep an eye on this water channel over there, so I think I'll do that. Oops, I did not mean to end my turn there. I hope there was nothing else that I needed to do. I don't think there was. I was just clicking, like, show me the next notification is what I was thinking. No, I think I'm good. I think I got everything. Capital didn't need to be building anything right now. It's just working on that market. And that farm would have boosted this market. And it did refund me some of the gold cost, I believe. And I'm still doing okay on mana despite casting that last spell. So hopefully by the time Draconic Vitality comes around, I'll have plenty. Alright. Sunfall produced the market. Now I want to start thinking about, yeah, probably growth. I need food so this city can grow faster and get a mint faster. Yeah. Storehouse isn't too much. I've got lots of cheap buildings I can make to help my cities kind of grow faster, so. And picking this gold up out here is going to help a lot too, so. I think I'll be alright. I'll have you go with them. You're kind of like the slow group, it seems. Yeah, that's fine for them. I'd rather just keep the units kind of generally together. Actually, if you go a little further... I guess it doesn't matter. Because he's... yeah, he can only make it to here anyway. Alright, everyone's just going to be spread out kind of weird, but we'll reform once I get up there. So I want the gold mine first, and then the pastures. Okay. And then as for you, I see a road up there. Probably want to take that and then go get the watchtower. Oh, the road does not go to the watchtower. It curves back east. Alright, well, I'll just have to shortcut through the forest then. And as for this guy, I don't see a watchtower over here. It'd be nice. Oh wait, never mind. There's one right in front of me. Yeah, you can cut through the borders there. Okay, Sanguine's out here. Not a great sign. There is a knowledge pickup down there I could go grab. And Sunless terrain? No, that's Ashlands. That's happening probably because of the volcanic terrain spreading event. I think no, I almost summoned another copper golem and then remembered that they cost gold upkeep, not mana. Gotta remember that. Alright, well at least I can get all this stuff cleared out on the next turn. And that's gonna make life easier. It does seem to me like I'm kind of getting the gold back on track, just barely. Sunfall will be done with that storehouse in just one turn, so we'll be rolling right over into an Architect Institute in there probably on the next turn. Or maybe a granary. No, it's only... I need another forester for that. Nothing wrong, though, with getting started on a building and then getting the boost for it later, kind of like I did with Astral Peak out here. Yeah, you just wait until all my friends evolve, and then we'll come beat you up. Stupid, threatening angel lady. If I go there, I can take that. Let me get everyone kind of piled up. Now, one thing to note is that I don't have any heroes that are... yeah, none of them have the trainer bonuses, so it doesn't really matter who the evolving units are paired with. They're going to gain XP at the same rate regardless. So with that in mind, I'm just going to put the archer with them and make them basically the good army, and then I'll have the bad army. Alright, if you guys attack, some of you should have slightly more movement because you were a little bit ahead, so I can use you to split off. Ooh. Oh, yes, I think I do want to demand mana for this. Yes. Especially considering I'm only making 16 per turn right now. That also gave me 100 gold for clearing the mine, which is fantastic. We can move on to the next thing, which is this thing, and I'm pretty sure he can participate still. Yeah. And then I'll get the pastures after that. The only downside is that I didn't get any XP for fighting in that fight, but this one I should be able to do without spells. As long as the Earthbreaker doesn't go get himself killed. Okay. He did fine. Yeah, this will boost my relationship with my city-state. And that would give me an immediate pact of vassalage. That is worth it. That's worth it more than the alignment is. So, we are now fast friends. Yay. Which means cooperation is on the table. Do I have an active trade with them still? No, I don't. But I don't have enough of any... I don't think I want to trade with them right now. My resources are... I don't have a huge surplus of either, so we'll wait on that. What do I want to tell them to do? Most likely defend something. Oh, there's a pirate cove right off the coast. Why don't you attack that? Maybe I can come help with that eventually. Yeah, that one. Have them fight that, because that could end up being a problem for both of us. They're kind of close. Most likely it'll harass them more than it harasses me, but wouldn't mind getting rid of it for sure. Okay. Then let's go back this way. And go pay these birds a visit. Hang on, still trying to save unit movement as much as I can. It makes more sense to use anyone but that archer to launch this battle. Cool. Alright, not quite enough XP for anyone to evolve. I did get some extra food for Astral Peak though. That'll grow again next turn, so that's kind of nice. Let's... kind of see what I'm going to have coming up next in terms of availability, and it's probably going to be the next Town Hall upgrade, because that also grants some gold, and it helps get me on the path to the tavern and bathhouse upgrades, which are pretty important for maintaining your city's happiness. So most likely that's going to come next. In fact, I might go ahead and drop the gold on it now. We'll see where my capital's at. Yeah, because my capital actually needs to work on something now too. So I may not have enough gold. Let's get the Architects Institute in the capital. I want to keep my research humming along as quickly as possible. Other rulers declared a friendship. Okay, Nicoreth and Imbria, that's fine. I'm not really at odds with Nicoreth, so I guess that's okay. Oh, my treaty with these guys literally just ran out. Okay, cool. That's fine. I am kind of thinking about making another one, because even though my gold income looks a lot better, it's still fairly weak, I think. I don't know. If I keep building gold buildings, which I can afford to do right now, it'll probably be fine. Yeah, I'll just go straight into the Ziggurat upgrade. And then I can always trade with these guys more later, but I'm going to be spending a pretty big chunk of mana on Draconic Vitality. I did get the Silver Tongue Fruit from them, which will help me level up my relationship with them faster, as Whispering Stones grant more allegiance. And that's just an update on my status with them. Hero leveled up. Oh, I am going to need money for another hero soon. I do want to go with Evocations, deal more damage. I am just bull rushing Sundering Earth, or Sunder Earth. And I guess I could give you an extra... Actually, you're far more likely to see melee combat, so you take the armor. Alrighty. Well, unfortunately, I can't fight the angels yet. As much as I would love to clear that Fireforge stone, because that would be a lot of extra production. That angel be scary. Maybe if these guys are close, they could chill in the city for a couple... Oh, wait, they are very close. Hang on. Oh, they'll be leveled up next turn. Okay. Well, in that case, let's go in the city for a turn or two, rank up, and then kind of evaluate whether this is something worth fighting. I do want to keep this Shademaker near those units. And you can come out here. I might even have you lead the attack to have one weak army in the middle with 2 flanks on the sides. They need a couple of turns of healing, which is fine. We can actually, you know what, I'll leave you in the city so that you're also getting a little extra XP. That guy's also going to level up, although he's got another level to go before he gets to his tier 3 form. But my armies don't have a whole lot better to do at the moment, so kind of dealing with that Astra while I'm out there seems like a good idea. Oh, another city-state out here, okay. Meeting neutral Bridgedale. Okay, who are you friends with? I don't know, but you're stretching your borders up out of a cave entrance over here. Okay. Well, that kind of takes this off the table at being a decent city spot, which sort of leaves me with my crappy little island down here. If I can afford the cost of a hero, which I won't because it'll be, dang it, on the next turn. Yeah, if I could afford the cost of that hero, I would run them down and found a city here. I think I'm gonna wait and try to take the Astra before I run off on an adventure somewhere else, because once my army's out in this area, they're going to be stuck out there for a while, but I am pretty sure that's probably where I'm going to put a 3rd city. So I'm not seeing, because I know there's like volcanic terrain over here. I think it's unlikely unless there's something in the corner of the map. I will send my scout down that way just to check, but... Oh, there's another gold pickup right there I could grab. Yeah. Alright, I need to get him back in the water. I want you to grab that before Sanguine does. Sanguine's actually out here by this tree. Okay. Draconic Vitality is ready. I need to start casting that. Let's show the Tome Library and see what I'm missing out on, because I don't really want any of this. The Enchanted Crow Companion actually would probably be fairly useful right now, so I might just go for that. But what am I missing out on? Youthful Rejuvenation, that can be handy in a pinch. I got most of what I want. I don't think it's worth re-rolling anything, so I'll just take the Enchanted Crow Companion for the scouts. Okay, and I really do need to think about getting that monument started soon. Not totally sure where I want to put it, maybe like out here. Problem is there's so many other stuff I want to build. It's hard to find the time for it. The monument, one nice thing about building the monument though, is that you can do it when the city can't do anything else, because it doesn't cost gold. So if I run out of gold in my capital, but I have enough to build things in Astral Peak, I could just build a monument in my capital instead. And that would help just kind of keep it doing something at least. Alright, let's drop another quick save, go to the next turn, and see if our guys evolve. If they do, it's probably not... I don't know if it'll reset their health or not. I don't think it will. But we're about to find out. Okay, Saladria's kind of expanding towards me now. That's okay, but I think I want to grab some of these tiles before they get them. I want more terror. I don't want them to crowd me too much. Even though I know I can buy them with Imperium later now, I don't want to have to spend the money on it. Another ruler was denounced. That's probably Sanguine and Imbria arguing more. Or maybe Sanguine denounced Nicoreth. It would be nice if 3 of us could just gang up on Sanguine. Especially since I gave up on having any diplomatic relationship with her at all the moment I met her. So we've never gotten along. Well, the Volcanic Terrain is getting rid of some of the Sunless, but it's going to get turned right back. Nicoreth lost their throne. That's concerning. Are you at war with somebody? Not anyone that I know. Huh. Interesting. Okay, who made the, Okay, that's, yeah, the 2 of them bickering. I received a message, and it looks like she has a deal with me. Now, this is probably... I don't know. It could be... Oh, it's contact information. You want gold for contact information? And that's going to be a big no from me, sorry. I will meet them myself eventually. Oh, her city's under siege. Is Sanguine just, like, kicking her butt? No, they're not at war. They're just denouncing each other. She's having problems with something else. Alright, Nicoreth got a seal. Don't really care about that yet. You guys leveled up, but yeah, you're still kind of injured. How many turns before you... No, I don't want to sit there for that long. I think I wait 1 more turn for these guys to kind of finish patching up, but then go after the Astra, which is a low-risk battle at this point. Probably something I can manage. Let's go ahead and grab... What am I going to need next? I'm going to be going into the tavern after getting the town hall upgrade, because you kind of need that quickly. So I already have 2... Yeah, I already have 2 farms. If I get another forester, that sets me up for... It sets me up for more growth upgrades later on. I think I'll just grab the forester now, because I'm going to definitely need it later. The mint I'll get another farm for eventually. Yeah, I'll take the forester for the time being. That gives me a little bit of production, a little bit of food, kind of a mix of things. And I'm going to need it eventually. And this city really doesn't have a whole lot of other forests around it. It's got another one here, I guess, and then that'll pretty much be it for the forests. Alright. Yeah, we wait 1 more turn, finish patching up. Particularly because that Bronze Golem's probably going to be doing some heavy lifting against the Astra, because it's a large target flying unit. Yeah, she's absolutely going to kill somebody in this fight. Alright, do I want to irritate this city-state by stepping into their territory and just trespassing for 1 turn? I'm going to say probably not, actually. Because that's going to waste an entire turn of movement for that scout. So it's not that I don't want to irritate the city-state, it's that I want the scout to go back and grab that gold and then keep exploring in the east. So you can keep your Wonderstone for now, I suppose. I want to get you into the water. That actually might have saved me 2 turns of movement, because I don't know if he could have made it all the way to the water from that spot and still embarked. We'll find more magic materials. It'll be alright. Okay, got my market. Get another province in Sunfall. Now is when I have to think about what's more important, because I could, at this point, take this, which is a pretty big deal. Yeah, that's a lot of nice income. But it doesn't get me any closer to a mint. Is the mint that important? I don't think it's as important as a wonder. So I'm going to take the wonder, because that gets me Imperium, that gets me a healthy chunk of research income. I can also upgrade it, even though I don't have the... Wait, insufficient 500, I misread that. I thought it said 300. Yeah, I won't be able to upgrade it yet. I'm actually going to be casting Draconic Vitality, so that's going to take a chunk out of my mana reserves. But it's something I can save up for. Also, because this is actually... Oh, hey, I have this now too. Quarries grant 5 food and 2 city stability. I probably do want to get this. Anything that helps with growth right now is good in these early stages, so I'm going to probably take that. I think I'm also going to take this Ancient Wonder 1 bonus that gives me the more knowledge. For each tier they have one annexed to a city. So this, for now, should just give me an extra 5 knowledge, but that'll go up over time as I get other wonders, so it should put me at 134, I think. Yep, 134. And then quarries grant 5 food. This one's just going to help really all my cities to a certain extent. So do I have the Imperium? Yeah, I don't see anything else that I really need to spend it on right now. This is another one that's kind of an easy no-brainer one because the other ones are right. So you basically, if you want the passive benefit, you can always take this one on the bottom. Yeah, okay, I think I'm good with that. This gets me some decent bonuses to keep plugging along. My ruler leveled up, which is good. I may need that for the upcoming fight, and I'm going to probably want Arcfire Burst. So I'll take that. And then, okay, you guys are fighting. Or not fighting, but arguing, fighting. Hopefully fighting eventually. And then, yeah, I can see how I fare against an Astra on the next turn. Not gonna lie, that thing scares me. Watch this be the turn that there's like a world map defender update and they become way, way harder. Honestly, though, if I can get through this battle with only losing a couple of crappy units, like if I can get through this with only losing like maybe an Earthbreaker or 2, for example, I'd be pretty happy with that. Because the Earthbreakers, their utility dropped. They're good in the early game, I think, but their utility kind of drops off fairly quickly in the mid game because you want to be replacing them with Guardians and Shademakers for this build, and there's really no reason to have them in the mid to late game. So if a couple of them die, it's just going to save me on income. Which means that if anyone's going to be taking unnecessary risks, it's going to be those guys. Alright, what do I want in my capital next? Since I've kind of sort of locked myself out of getting the... Yeah, now might be the time to work on that monument, because I don't have a whole lot of other things I can make. I could go with the stonemason, but it really wouldn't take that long to get the first monument level up. And that's going to amplify the power of my army, the more of those I build. The only other potential thing is the Wizard's Tower, which nothing really boosts that, and I could get more Imperium income early on. There's a lot of good options, really. I think I might lean towards Stonemason first and then Monument, because the Stonemason will help it go a little faster. Yeah, probably Stonemason into Monument, I think, is the right play for my capital, since I already have that boosted and discounted. That leaves me with 89 gold. Not quite enough to make another Guardian, but I did notice in the Rally of Lieges that there is one available. And it is Dune Elves, so I think I'm going to recruit that guy. I really do need another one of these guys. Yeah, recruit to... We'll take it at Sunfall, because by the time it shows up, I'll be back in that area, hopefully. And that's a slight discount. Normally, I think they would cost 100 to make, and it'd be taking up draft. Yeah, I'm going to have to clean up all that volcanic terrain later, unfortunately. Okay, let's go ahead and just launch the fight with my strongest army in the center, I think. That's how I want to do this. I will allow spells in this one. We'll see how it goes, but I'm kind of expecting to have to do this one myself. Because that Astra does a lot of damage if it gets close enough to something. Yeah, I'm going to need to do this one myself. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Celestial terrain. Oh, stuff's on fire because of the volcanic stuff and the Fireforge stone. So we had the volcanic eruptions, and the rampant fire from, I think, the Fireforge stone. One of these is coming from the Fireforge stone. The other's coming from the world event, I think. You have Divine Sundering. That's a very nasty AoE in a 2-hex cone. So probably want to try to avoid that causing too much damage. What I can do is I can use Earth Elemental summons to maybe triggering them to end up in an aggressive state. I also probably want to kind of get out of the trees and bushes because they're all going to be on fire. Let's see, how far can you move? You can move far enough to hit my leader with that, but that's guaranteed infliction of status debuffs too. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm going to definitely want to leave my leader on defensive mode and ward with the cultivator. Actually, what I could do is just ward with the cultivator preemptively, because I think I'm most likely going to goad them into attacking her. And then I will use my guardian on defense mode right behind. Actually, I don't know if I want to do that. Right now, the only unit that she can hit with that AoE is just my leader, who is linked up with healing. So I think I'm going to instead try to get some of these other units to where they can help. Are you guys on bushes? Yeah, those bushes are going to be on fire on the next turn. Those bushes are on fire on this turn. Alright, that'll work. And I really would rather the bronze guy, polearm guy, be the one drawing the Astra's attention. But wherever he ends up, I want everyone to be working together in this fight. So I need to bring these guys down here, I think. I may leave this guy out here by himself. No, don't go through the burning flames. Please. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of units bunched up here, and it's going to make it hard for me to get my melee guys through, so I'm going to kind of have to see how this goes. Can any of you clear... If you can, just get rid of the bushes. I don't know if the fire... Yeah, the fire went away when I got rid of the bush, so maybe that's something that I can do. Can anyone else hit a bush? Alright, I think that's the best I'm going to do for now. Oh, and almost forgot about this guy down here. Yeah, we're just going to tear down the forest. And with that, the archers can actually go here and get a little better line of sight, depending on what that Astra does. It's a little... This is just awkward. I wish this big rock wasn't here. It's not doing me any favors in this fight. More fire spreading. Oh, she could reach all the... Ah, okay. I see the spot. Yeah, I missed that. Oh, dear gosh. Okay. Alright, I need to get her out of there. And I need to kill the Astra on this turn, if that's at all possible. I can always quick phase her out. And fortunately, this thing... Oh, wait, it hasn't used its convert. Okay, that could be really bad if it does. I need to see how much damage I can do to that Astra here. And it probably ain't gonna be much. And this thing's can charge in and do a ton of damage. Don't like anything about this. I need to get this guy up front. These guys are the ones that I'm willing to lose. Alright. I just need to get my hero out of harm's way, and I've got quick phase, so I can do that fairly easily. What I'm not sure about, I need to get the Guardian adjacent to the Astra, preferably without standing on the fire. And I probably need to connect her to the Guardian, but I may need her to do damage instead. We'll see how this pans out. If I wanted to be super hyper-aggressive, I could probably teleport my leader behind to kill the Astra, but then my leader would die, and I don't think that's worth it. Another alternative is port my leader back here, and then instead of doing Lightning Evocation or something, I could do a second spell and summon 2 Earth Elementals to really gum up the defenders. I would really like to have one on this thing to make it more difficult for it to come after me. Is there any way I can give that thing status vulnerability? The cultivators can do that. It's only a 35% chance of happening, though. Alright, I think it's time for you to charge. I wasn't expecting them to come at me quite this quickly. Same with you. Just get out there. Alright. The only thing that I can think of that makes sense is teleporting my leader out of there and trying to hit the Astra from afar. That's gonna do basically nothing, which makes me... It will give some damage over time, so that's not absolutely nothing. I'm probably going to lose my Guardian doing this, but I want to move him up to give her that little bit of incarnate physical disruption and give my archers a slightly better chance of hitting her. Or, well, not better chance of hitting her, but better damage output. It's not going to be nearly enough, though. She just has too much base health. There is a slight possibility I immobilize her, but I think I'm not going to bank on that. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and use these guys, maybe from a flanking angle. How can I... My units are... This is exactly what I was worried about. My units are getting jammed up on each other. If I don't kill the Astra, can she reach and kill my leader? If I'm in defense mode, looking the correct direction, probably not. I should be okay. That thing can't reach me. It's already used, or it can't use Righteous Judgment yet. Alright, I think I've kind of got a plan worked out here. It will involve setting the cultivators on fire, but they're linked to my leader, they'll shake it off. This lets me get this guy out front. Actually, the spider could summon a free spider there and just kind of be a pain. Alright, let's do that. Seems like a nice place to put a free spider, although I may have just made it harder for my archers to hit that thing. Okay, good. Fortunately, I'm not getting punished for that. I'm going to take this chance to give her that status vulnerability. That did not work. Okay. These guys have a chance to inflict Sundered Defense. Okay, we got a little bit of Sundered Defense. My mage also has a potential chance to inflict sundered defense. Either with the big evocation or the small one. I think the small attacks are better here. Is my mage in any danger? I don't think so. Anything that sunders defense, that's what I need to set up for those archers. Okay, we're getting some status vulnerability. Chance to sunder defense is now up to 39. And we're looking at much more reasonable damage numbers here. Maybe there's a universe where I kill her on this turn. If I shoot in the back with this unit, that's not technically a flank. I can get a little more damage with an actual proper flank attack. 53% status vulnerability. Okay, didn't get it, but a little more damage is damage. I kind of wanted to link her to this guy who's most likely going to die now, but maybe I can protect him. I've still got my spells. My leader has not acted yet, so I can still summon 2 Earth Elementals on this turn if I need to. I wish this guy could move just a little faster. I am going to just have him run up here. It's no reason not to. I need him getting in the way. You know, I think I've got her. Yeah, these are 100% chances to land, and I've sundered defense with everyone that possibly can reach. I think we're good. Okay. Bring her down, please. Oh wait, one more thing I could do if I'm planning on using my leader to summon more units on this turn. I should probably do this first, because I'm not going to finish her with that archer, but if I summon this guy here and punch her in the back, that can also sunder defense. Yeah, she's dead now. She's definitely dead now. Yeah, let the archer finish. Now, she doesn't have, like, resurrect or anything, does she? I don't think they do. It's just a phoenix thing. Alright, and then what I can do is I can have my leader recast or do a channeling ritual, which lets me cast another spell, and I think I want to get in this thing's face. Just with literally anyone, because I don't want that thing to kill my guardian. I want to keep him alive if I can. I can actually, you know what, he can back up now. I didn't notice that, which would let me get a healthy earth elemental in the way. Well, not entirely, but close enough. If I back him up to here, I don't think he's in any danger from there. I mean, he's, okay, maybe a little danger, but not a lot. Then I can kind of work the earth elemental forward. Spread the damage over more units. And then I can get this guy up here. Actually, the best you can probably do is getting there. And where do I want to put this last guy? So he can run around and hit my guardian. My guardian's going to be defending, so let's see how much damage he would do in that case. Not enough to kill, probably. This guy is still a bit of a wild card because he could convert something. If I can make it through this next turn without losing anyone important, then I think I'm in good shape. I'm just trying to decide who I want to focus my attention on here. Putting a guardian here would probably prevent him from converting most of my things. Well, I guess he could always back off and convert something, but it would make follow-up killing it easier. I think this thing actually is what I want to control right now. This guy I can single out on the next turn, but he's not going to kill anyone. I think having the guardian, maybe, or not the guardian, the I think I'm going to go right here. Yeah. That's got a good sunder defense chance, and that forces him, because he can't go there. he could go. No, he can't go. He can't go there and use this ability. He can't go here and use that ability. He can't go there and use it because he's in his enemy zone of control. He has to back up to use that now. Okay. Feeling actually pretty good about this. Hopefully I don't regret saying that. There's the dominate. Okay, so now I've got to deal with that. Should be fine, though. The rest of this really isn't that scary. In fact, I can just remove that dominate by simply linking a cultivator to this guy. So if I need to, I can do that, but I might not even need to. The next thing that I want to single out is this guy. I want him to be not alive anymore. Yeah, go just punch him in the face. Sunder his defense, please. That would be nice. Okay, we got a little bit of sundering. I want to loop this guy around. I know this doesn't count as a flank because I'm beginning the turn in his zone of control, but actually I might want him to go help with this guy because that leaves my mage more open to helping to finish that thing off. Okay. Yeah, you guys just beat him up. That's fine. Alright, archers. We got a Sunder defense on him somewhere in there. Can we make that... okay, I don't really want to run him through fire right now. These spiders can get around in the back for a little flank attack, a little more Sundered defense. And I could get maybe even more with him, but I want to make sure the archers still have a good shot. Those archers have to move up a bit. How about you back off? You move so the archers can actually hit him. That triggered Draconic Rage, but it shouldn't matter. I think he's basically dead? Maybe not quite. I can hit him with my leaders. Electric Strike this turn, though. And I can get him with this, which I probably should have done first for the status vulnerability. But from there, I believe he's dead as long as this archer doesn't miss. Okay, we missed once, but I think... I think we're just barely not good. Yeah, he'll die on the next turn from... Okay, the only things he can kill are 2 units that are temporary summons. He could loop around here and do quite a bit of damage, though. I might need to use this guy to finish him off. A stack of burning, he'll survive, he'll live. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to use her to get rid of... Insanity on that Earthbreaker. Or not Insanity, Dominate. Yeah, okay. Get rid of that. Then that leaves you to go around here. We can start beating that thing up. And yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with being on fire, I'm afraid. There we go. Mage doesn't have a great shot from here. I might go ahead and use Blast Evocation to kind of sunder that guy's defense. No, didn't sunder his defense, but I did give him status vulnerability. I believe those units are all fine for now. The spider can probably... You know what? Just stay where you are, honestly. And then I can get this stone spirit kind of working its way through here. Yep, they want that Earthbreaker. But I'm pretty sure I can finish them on this turn. And if I can reach that guy in the back. Well, we don't want to do that. Poor Earthbreaker would die horribly. I can kill him with that rock guy. I think I'm gonna do that. And I want to get in this guy's face so he can't kill the weak unit. It's one of those battles where every turn is something could die if you screw up. Going here, I get a decent shot at this guy. I'm okay. The zealots I can kill, I'm pretty sure. I just need to get a better angle. Yeah. I would really like to get this guy to that spot. Actually, he can freely move. Okay. Yeah, do that. Then I want to leave a way for him to get out. Preferably, I need to finish this fight on this turn, actually, because he's burning. I could maybe get rid of the burning. Can the archers finish that guy off if they move up here? First off, I can move this guy. Yeah, I can kill him. I think the archers kill this. Yeah. Okay, we got it. That was a little dicey, but somehow managed to fumble through that without losing anything, so I'm good with that. We just cleared that Fireforge stone. That's huge. And we got great robes out of it. Oh, those are going to be so good for the mage. All right, I'm very happy about that. This also mostly completes the Town Hall upgrade in Astral Peak, which is awesome. But before I forget, we need you to wear these robes. So she now does 20% more magic damage, which is amazing. Now, it is worth remembering that at any point now, I can get another hero. I just need to save up the gold for it. So that's probably that's something I need to work on. I don't know if it's worth putting cities on produce merchandise for it or not, but now that that's done, I think I'm going to head back towards my capital. It may be time to head this way, maybe pop down in here and take another run at Mirror Fields, and then carry on to the east to build a city. Even if it is just on that island there, it's still better than nothing. There's at least a cave entrance there too, so like, maybe I could make something happen with that. Like, there's not a lot down there, unless maybe if I can dig through the wall. Like, there's definitely stuff in there. Alright. Well, regardless, southeast is the way to go right now, so that is where we shall go. And I got a Fireforge stone, which is going to... Yeah, global effect units cost less draft. 20% less draft, it's pretty nice. Okay, crap, he can't go quite far enough. He'd get caught in the Pirate Cove. I don't want that, so I'm gonna have to have him take the long way around. And then, as for this guy, let's get him back on the road. Run north. Enchanted Crow Companion is done. I don't know if that's worth casting or not. I guess it probably is, because I'm in a very active exploration phase right now. Both of these are kind of good choices too. Awaken Tools is pretty nice, but I'm not quite at the point where I have limitless city stability. So I think I'm going to go with Youthful Rejuvenation, because I don't really have a healing spell right now. Okay, other rulers got Friendship. That's actually good to know. That means maybe I want to try to stay on Nikareth's good side, if diplomacy works out that way. We're still just a wizard's bond with a province claiming pact. I think that's about as good as I can do for this turn. We'll drop that quick save, and then I'm wondering if on the way back I should interact with that lost soul and just trigger that quest. I still think there's probably more important things my heroes should be doing, particularly when it comes to getting a third city up. So maybe I won't do that, but we'll see. It might depend on where he moves. All right. Part of me wishes Sanguine and Imbria would just go to war. But the other part of me realizes that if they do that, Imbria is going to try to draw me into the war. So I'm a little worried about that, because right now I'm kind of turning my focus a bit more to the east, and I don't really want to get involved in their problems any earlier than I have to. The other thing that is kind of a wild card here is that there are still 5 more players, AI players, that I haven't met. I only know who one of them is because I saw the Seals notification pop up indicating that they were going for the Seals victory. I want this volcanic thing to go away. Okay. Get you guys back in friendly territory, which I can't quite reach. Nope. Just can't quite reach. Actually, I bet I can. I bet it's no, it's actually not an elemental slowing them down this time. They're all my normal elves. They're just a tad too slow. All right, get that gold, definitely. And then get out of there. I want you to go further east. Got a hero join offer, but I don't have the money for it. We can at least window shop here a bit, though. Got a Spellblade, a Defender, a Ritualist. I kind of really want a Battle Saint. I want somebody who can be a solid healer, but the Ritualist could work. He's a Glory Seeker Ritualist. That's not great for the Ritualist, but I guess it's not terrible either. 300 gold, huh? Alright. An Agricultural Governor could be good for my build, too. I'm going to stay on the road with this guy and keep moving north, grabbing towers and looking for easy pickups. I see something shiny in the water there. That might be another gold pickup. And if I can get a few of those, I might actually be able to get a hero. Alright, I know that city stability is not going to stay high for very long, so I'm going to go ahead and work on the tavern now. Even though I know that slows down getting the hero, city happiness is usually worth it. Oh, and this comes at a pretty good time. Draconic Vitality will give me a little bit more hit point regeneration on the world map, and I could definitely use it. On top of, you know, just making all my people more healthy in general. Although, I don't like how that transformation looks. So I'm going to hide that. I'm not sure if that one does anything either. There's only certain... I turn a lot. I end up turning a lot of those off because, like, if you don't, by the end of the game, your units are just a messy amalgamation of so much weird transformations and enchantments. All right, and then Yeah, still planning on probably going into Foundation after finishing that Stonemason, I think, so that'll give this city something else to do for a while. Not thrilled about the volcanic terrain getting spread everywhere. I'm hoping I get some bonus for it after the world event is over, because it's kind of making a mess. All right, for now, we will quick save. And I want to check real quick to see if there's anything in here I need to grab. I probably am going to want this farm one basically as soon as I can get it, because I'm going to have a lot of farms, and it will give me more gold. I don't really care about the mana as much right now. So, yeah, that'll be a pickup for the next turn. For now, I don't need to be casting anything, right? I think we're good on all that. Oh, wait, I probably do want to cast Enchanted Crow Companion. Unless I want to try to save up mana for... I mean, Purging Arrows is actually probably something I should get earlier, because I have 2 archers that could maybe make use of it. Or I could save mana to upgrade that wonder that I have underground, or in the wizard portal thing. Kind of a tough call. I think getting Purging Arrows is probably more important. But the earlier I get that, the more mana I spend in upkeep, and the longer it is before I can upgrade my wonder. I think I'll hang on to the mana for now. Purging Arrows isn't as important against the AI, like the independent marauders and stuff like that, because I don't think they normally have as many enchantments. It becomes much more important when you're dealing with... I think Purging Arrows becomes a lot more important when you're dealing with the actual AI opponents, because they tend to have a lot more enchantments. And I think it's really, really nice against anyone who can get Steadfast, because Purging Arrows can take away Steadfast and allow you to kill things like Berserkers when they normally wouldn't be able to be killed. Or really any unit with... I think there's an enchantment that can give units Steadfast in one of the Order Tomes, and it can just kind of bypass that if you can manage to rip off the enchantment. It's really nice. The bonus damage versus magic units is definitely good, though, and actually that would be pretty useful. Now that I think of it, that would be very useful in that wonder down there with the Mage Banes. That is worth thinking about. Especially since I'm heading back down that way now. Maybe worth thinking about who's actually going into that battle. I did just get my second Guardian from the city, from the Rally of Lieges. So, if I take... obviously the 2 heroes are going to be involved. Definitely the 2 archers, because I'll be shooting at a lot of large targets. Then it'd be 1 Guardian and probably the Copper Golem, I guess? He's weak to... no, maybe not. He's weak to shock. That wouldn't be a good fight for him. Honestly, I don't know that I can get... maybe it's not worth clearing that right now, because I don't think I can get really any better units in there right now. I just realized there's fishing ground just off the water. Yeah, you know what? On second thought, I think I'm going to wait to go after that. I don't think I'm strong enough for it yet. We'll hold off. In the meantime, I think I might go ahead and actually split these heroes up, give them each their own army, because we're going to chill and heal in the capital for a couple turns. Oh, and there's that lost soul. I do want to go talk to it. Since I'm not going after the Wonder right now. You know what? I'm going to have her go on ahead and have her found that city out there. Or follow the scout and maybe found one further east if you can get to it. I need to eventually get the magic material from that city-state too. Depends on how far east I need to go, I guess. I don't want to go so far that I can't defend it, but I would like to find a better spot than this. I might not. And the haste berries could make that worth it. So I think regardless of what happens, I'm just going to let her go do her thing. Unless, it may depend on what this lost soul actually triggers. Let's do that first. Okay, so Ghost, stop them, help us, our flesh, our soul's consumed. One of the voices tears itself free from the amalgam. They're trying to create it, the essence of life. Okay, so magic demand a cost, and it was us. Okay, where are you guys going? Dang it, it spawned something that I don't want to deal with. Ah, crap. Okay, I will have to go kill that. Hopefully the reward for it will be worth it. I'm probably going to need my mage to help with that. I knew I should have interacted with that stupid ghost. Well, this thing is gonna become active in 9+ turns, so I can actually probably afford to let my hero go found at least an outpost over there. Yeah. While everybody else is healing, I'm gonna have her do that. City's borders grow yet? 2 turns. We have to be patient. Alright, well, get on the city for now. Having this thing here, that is a killable thing. Like I can deal with that. It's just in an annoying spot because I have to go right back where I just came from. But in the meantime, I'll let these people chill in the city, get a little extra XP, and I definitely do want to pick this up so my farms can start generating some extra gold and city stability, which will help the more that sunless terrain spreads. Then let's grab this tower. Good. Magic material. Oh, and a free treasure chest pickup. We'll gladly take that. I got a tier 2 axe. Okay, I guess that's fine. I can't quite get up on that hill because of the cliff, but I'll go around. How much gold was that? I'm up at 166. Not bad. I do think now is the time for that monument, so let's get that started. I'll probably just, I don't think it really matters where it goes. I'll probably just slap it down right here fairly safely in between me and my city-state, and we'll be dedicating to Materium. Even with Draconic Vitality, it's still taking these guys a while to heal, but I guess their max health went up too, so that's part of the reason why. Okay, I know about that infestation. I know about that infestation. This is a magic origin unit, technically, isn't it? Yes, it is. So I think I will go ahead and upgrade my archers with purging arrows. And I can always wait to cast it until I'm actually ready for that fight. Just thinking, if I can manage to get... If I can manage to get my hero, like save up enough money to buy another hero, I could have the newbie go out there and get that while she helps kill this thing. Because there could be a nice reward for me in there that could help jumpstart things, get my economy back on track. Is it worth waiting another couple turns for that? I'm not sure. Or I could just wait and get the hero and send the new guy. Yeah, I think I still need to keep going east with her. Okay. We'll end the turn there. Just trying to think about where the best place for my heroes to be, and she is a very, very good fighter. Well, she's going to become way stronger once I get her final evocation. So, I guess she's not like super charged up yet, but she's going to be very strong. I'll just have to cross my fingers and hope I get some really nice items out of this. Jeez. So many blood cultists, a blood exarch, and a blood maggot. There's going to be a lot of people bleeding in this fight. Where are you guys going? You're like they're out of their territory, but I'm not really sure where they're heading. I told them to attack that pirate cove, I think. I could tell them to attack the ritual circle. They won't kill it, probably. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe if they send a strong enough army, they might. And I want to definitely make sure I'm the one to kill that, so... Alright, if I send her here, it looks like I can get onto the water in that spot. The game's a little weird about this, like it wants to put them in the water earlier, but you don't have to do that. You know, it's only one more turn if I wait and just buy a new hero. I want her to go help with this fight, so I am going to have her stay here. It's not that much extra time to wait. Alright, go there. 2 turns until that's done. By the time it's finished, I will be ready for this upcoming fight. And then I am going to spread the archers around a little. I want to reform these armies to where they're a little bit better balanced. Like, the Bronze Golem Polearm could go there, whereas my leader's army could do with maybe the Spider Fighter. I think I would rather have the extra shield with her group. Both groups need a cultivator healer, so let's get you in there with the leader. And the Earthbreakers are a bit less important. I think I would rather have her have an extra defensive unit. Although she does have the polearm. Yeah, I'll have this guy hang out here. And then the 2 leftovers can just be these 2 random Earthbreakers. But that kind of spreads out where my Guardians and Shademakers are, so that they can more evenly distribute their damage. That way I don't end up in a situation like that last battle where all my good units were piled up on one side and then the other support units couldn't reach them. Okay, this is a pretty long trip, and there's a city-state out there. So it's making it look more and more likely that this is the spot for my next city. Hopefully I get a nautical governor. That would be nice. Take the Wonderstone where we can get it. Youthful Rejuvenation is done. And we're on to our next tome. So, I believe at this point... Okay, I need to check something in my notes, just to make sure, because I've changed this build a few times, and I want to make sure that I actually get this right. But it should be... Yeah, I think I want to just go into Sandstalkers next, because that's going to help me clear some of this volcanic terrain. The next 2 will be Sandstalkers and Scrying, because of guided projectiles are going to make my strategy much more useful in the long run, letting those archers fire pretty easily from long range over the heads of the Guardians who are going to be standing next to enemies. So Tome of Scrying is definitely in the works. Plus I need the Astral affinity for something else. But for the moment, I think I kind of want to go Tome of Sandstalkers. It's going to give me a little more Materium. It'll give me a little bit more nature, which I do kind of need the nature as well. And most importantly, it'll get me access to all my desert-themed stuff. So let's do that. Plus, I'm going to need to cast Desertification to get rid of all the stupid volcanic crap that's everywhere. Which I didn't get Desertification.
We call it home.
I don't know if I want Dunestalkers or Scorpion Venom weapons more.
We are the raiders in the
because
wind.
Dunestalkers doesn't help me a whole lot until I'm actually...
We are the ones that
I wish this lady would shut up when I'm trying to talk through this. I think Dunestalkers would be more useful basically once after I've already gotten the ability to spread sandy terrain. I kind of wish I'd gotten the sandy one first. But I guess getting the race transformation up earlier rather than later is probably for the best. And it doesn't hurt to have. So I think I'll go ahead and take it. Really, all 3 of these things are great choices. But this one doesn't require mana upkeep. So that's what I'm going to lean towards. Uh, all right, I think at this point I want to start really reaching out towards. Wait. Oh, I forgot that was a mine out there. In any case, I want to really start reaching out towards her. Now, because I took the Dunestalkers and have Desert adaptation, I'm getting an extra +5 you can see there from Tome of Sandstalkers. So my farms on desert terrain are going to be performing much better. This one I was wondering if it counted because I guess there is technically actual sand tiles there. I wasn't sure if it would count if it was only the fertile grassland and no actual like desert dune tiles. I'm going to take this because it just will hopefully kind of discourage her from expanding in this direction a little more, and try to just assert my claim over that territory. And then I could either go for the bathhouse and try to like boost the city's happiness and growth more, or I could go for the workshop and just build everything afterwards more quickly. I think I'm going to take the workshop because it's fairly cheap. I think getting production first is normally good if you can manage it, and I'll still have enough money on the next turn to buy the hero. I'll hold off on purging arrows for the moment because I don't need it quite yet, but I need to remember to cast it before going after that ritual circle. Plus, everybody here kind of still needs a little bit more time to heal. We'll take one more turn of rest, and then we'll head out. Okay, Whetstone sent a war party. They're going to be an issue, aren't they? Kind of wish I wouldn't have met them. Although they may... I think sometimes the AI sends stuff after you even before you've technically met them. I feel like I've seen that happen before. Well, they're going to be heading my way. You know... I wonder if Whetstone would be a better city. Sanguine's kind of laying claim to territory over here. I don't know. Honestly, like, if I took this, I think I'd want to move the city a little bit further north and get closer to, like, maybe if I put it there and took that, and then if I ended up at war with Sanguine eventually, but Sanguine's got a claim on this now, so that would give her justification for war against me rather than the other way around. Right now I only have a minor justification against her. I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I think just taking them and making them a vassal would be fine. It's tempting to try to get a third city out there, but that's a long-term, like, military campaign, and I think I would rather focus on the path of least resistance, which is going to be going east. Alright. Do I have anything worth grabbing in here? Something new is available. I think it might be Forced March. I don't need that right now. Possibly ever. And mana is not a problem right now, but it's not going up as fast as I want it to. I really would like to be able to get to upgrade that wonder that I have underground. I wish I could. I should have taken a look at what was on those haste berries out there. Didn't think about that. Isn't there something in the Empire tree? Oh yeah, there is. I just remembered there's something in the Empire tree that gives you, I think it's extra research from all water tiles. So if I really leaned into making this city a naval city, and in particular got them a nautical governor, this could actually be a pretty decent city out here. It's definitely possible. Alright, now do I get anything from having that volcanic terrain? That is not worth blocking growth for when I can just... Well, except I can't do that yet, because I don't have desertification. I could get a boost of Imperium, or I could turn them back to their sand. This is actually kind of a tough call. I don't really need call volcanic eruptions. Although, does that do the same thing? Yeah, it's... Okay, it kind of targets enemies, but it's fundamentally the same effect, it looks like, of just like the randomly targeted hexes on the battlefield. I kind of want to take the Imperium and just convert those provinces using spells, because 120 Imperium isn't bad. But I don't really have the casting points to do that. The volcanic terrain I don't think is making my people unhappy. So I think we can wait on it. I don't think in this game volcanic inherently makes your people unhappy. But I could be wrong about that. I know like stuff like Gloom and Sunless does. Like Sunless if you're not a vampire. Gloom if you're not Umbral. I think I'm going to take the Imperium. And we'll clean it up over time. Because I'm not really having happiness issues. So... yeah, my people are pretty happy. But I am wondering... yeah, so I'm not getting any sort of a debuff from the volcanic terrain. It's just slowing, it's just making farms less profitable, but I don't have farms. Sunfall's technically volcanic now too, but I don't have farms on any of those tiles. So, oh wait, I do have one there. Okay, I probably want to clean that up. Is it worth it even just for the food though? I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't think it's worth the mana cost because it's 45 for Earth Shape. I think I wait. Yeah, I can target provinces that aren't volcanic to expand farms to, and eventually I'll just clean it all up with desertification or whatever. Yeah, that one I just took for the purpose of being a sandy farm is now volcanic. Thanks, game. Appreciate that. Well. I'll hope for desertification later, because that'll help me clear a whole bunch of them all at once. Alright, I think you guys are good enough, and this guy evolved, so that's handy. I believe I can go after this thing now. It is time. And then I want you to go a little further to the east. There is more terrain down here with magic materials on it that looks unclaimed. I met some people out here that are already allied with someone, so that basically means I'm not going to bother giving them a Whispering Stone. Ah, hello. Okay, I'm just going to be kind of neutral towards that person. A lot of times, I end up becoming friends with that giant when they're in my games, so we'll see how things play out this time. Where do I want to go with this guy from here? Let's loop a little closer to enemy territory, because I might not be, or not enemy necessarily, but Nicaret's territory, because I might not be able to explore that later. Uh-oh. They might go after my scout. That looks like a marauding army, but I think that most likely they're targeting something else. I don't know if they'll veer off course to go after my scout or not. Let's grab... no, let's not grab anything there, because we're grabbing a hero this turn. Almost forgot. Just make sure I don't need the Warlock or the Spellblade, but I don't really think I need either of them. I do really like Prospector a lot. That's very good. But I kind of want to get a healer. And a Ritualist is a good option for that. So we're going to take this guy here. And go back. It's agricultural. Are any of these a nautical governor by chance? No. Part of me wants to re-roll this, but I just don't think... well, actually, I can't, because then I wouldn't have enough money to recruit a hero. I think taking a Glory Seeker Ritualist is fine. Glory Seeker is not, like, that great, really, for a Ritualist, but it's not really a terrible trait for anyone. So we'll kind of see how it pans out. Alright. Mostly, I just need him to get out and found a city. Is there any items I have? Well, I guess I can give him those crappy greaves. And, yeah, you need to get on the water and go get me that outpost. Okay, Sunfall can annex province. I probably need to start building towards that mint now, huh? I keep having units kind of pass through here. I wonder if I take this, if it'll build a road through the mountains reaching it. Because I keep having to go around those two little mountains there. What do I need? Oh crap, the city-state took that tile. Kind of was hoping they wouldn't take that one. What do I need for the mint? I think it's just, actually, it's just farms. Oh, I know what I could do. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll just build farms like here, because they'll get the growth boost, and it does kind of... Well, I guess the road technically goes around the mountain, so I don't really get a shortcut there. But with that farm, the city will grow in 5 more turns, and then I can start swapping this to a mine. Or actually, probably this one, because it's on volcanic terrain. In fact, I could do that now. Yeah, just turn that into a mine now in preparation for the mint, and then I'll get another farm, probably like here, and then I'll be able to get the mint. I know it kind of looks like this one is, that oasis is in my territory. It just kind of looks like it's on this tile, but it's not. So that one in the middle is fine to leave the way it is for now. Okay, I could make city defense structures cheaper or get siege masters. I typically would rather have siege masters. I just don't need it right now, so I'll save that for later in the game. I could get more combat casting points. It's another one of those things that I don't feel like I need right now, but dang, they can be handy. I don't really ever do the world map casting points. I think combat casting is just a lot better overall, so I'll probably just grab that. But is there anything else that I'm going to need first? It's going to be 5 turns before foraging's available, and that's a pretty big one. And I need 200 for my city when I found that. I also probably want to grab fruitful integration to help the city grow a little faster. I don't know if that's really worth it, though, at this stage in the game. Founding or absorbing cities takes -2 turns. I probably won't be absorbing cities very often, though. And then +1 pop for founded and absorbed cities. I'm kind of on the fence about whether that's worth it. I think the combat casting is pretty much always worth it. So yeah, I'm just going to grab, let's see, 5 turns. I need 150 Imperium. I'm making 45 per turn. I actually don't think I would have enough if I'm doing my head math correctly, which is always dangerous. Okay, denouncement between the two of them. If I get this guy out here, how quickly can he get out there? He can get out there in 2 turns. Found the outpost in 1 turn after that. It'd be 3 turns. 45 income. Yeah, I don't think I have enough because that 200 is going to take a pretty big chunk. I guess I don't have to decide it quite yet because I'm not going into battle on this turn. Is that 2 spaces? Yeah, that's 2. I can't quite initiate that fight. All right, in that case, I can wait. I may not even need the extra combat casting for this fight. My mana income's about to dry up too, because I haven't even cast Purging Arrows yet, actually. It's just dropping. Maybe because some of my units evolved and they're now taking more mana. Like this guy probably requires more mana to keep on my side. Yeah, he's 26 upkeep by himself. Dang, that's a lot. I think it's going to be a little while before I can upgrade that wonder that I've got underground. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. I am at least glad that these guys didn't become active right away and start pillaging stuff in Astral Peak, because I wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. Actually, even if they spawned another army of defenders, I might not be able to kill that. Okay, hero leveled up. That is my mage. That's good. We go Ritual of Elements here. Yeah, getting pretty close. Getting pretty close. Just need a few more levels on you. Unfortunately, I just barely can't reach them. Always one space away. I could... You know, I could get road building, but I don't want to spend the Imperium on it right now. Technically, that would let me reach them faster. It's fine. They're not active. Yeah, 3 to 6 turns. So they won't become active yet. So I think I can actually just do this. And just do it on the next turn because... Well, that guy, he's not going to heal much, actually, because it's technically enemy territory. But I figured he could use another turn of just getting a little bit more health. Now, I want to sail this guy across the water, down this way. What was on there? Ooh, Balor. Gross. See what's on this cave entrance. And there's another city-state over here. So I have basically ruled out any areas to the east, aside from this island. So that makes me feel better about settling it. What is down there? I probably don't care. I think I'm going to stay topside. Let's get back in the water so I can... Ah, okay, here we go. It's a little risky because that's infestation territory. But if I put this guy on the mountain there on the next turn, I bet I could get a little Wonderstone out of that. Okay, another hostile city-state down here, which is going to cause... Crap, I've got one on each side of me. That is going to cause problems. Okay, fortunately those guys ignored my scout, so that's good. Let's go further north. Ooh, let's get that tower. Okay, now that I'm not saving up for a hero, I can spend money a little bit more liberally to try to boost my cities up. I think, do I want the stonemason or the storehouse or the bathhouse? All of those are good choices. The bathhouse will keep people happier. I think the bathhouse in general, just to boost food and growth overall, and then following up with the others. The bathhouse is almost always worth getting as quickly as you can, so I'll take that. And then my capital probably can't actually afford anything because I just spent it all in the bathhouse. And I don't want to waste the production overflow, so we'll just go straight into Monument 2. I can always change what the capital is doing later. Okay, are either of these chaos ones worth it? I don't think so. Nah, I don't really think I need either of those right now. Okay, she's still getting along with me just fine. Oh, actually, our relationship's great now. It's up to 800. Huh. I guess threat level changed to trusting, and that probably made a pretty big difference. Cool. Well, as long as she's happy, I'm happy, I guess. Last thing I want right now is a war with a vampire, especially with city-states coming at me from both sides now. This city is probably... I think I'm more likely to try to go deal with this one first, just because I kind of like their territory better, and I would like to get... Yeah, because they know Sanguine. If I can take them out before Sanguine becomes their overlord or whatever, then I can make them my vassal instead, and that's one less vassal for Sanguine. So I think going west after them is the next choice. And then this city over here. Now, there's nothing saying I couldn't keep this city too and make it actually my city, but we'll have to see what kind of territory is around there first. Yeah, I can hold off on purging arrows a little longer, but I think I am going to want it for this fight. Just mostly it's going to help me take down that Blood Exarch a lot faster. keep an eye on what Sanguine's up to over here. She may have really stretched for that Guardian tree. Alright, Sanguine's turn is over. That Pirate Cove is messing up my city-state, who should be trying to do something about it. I can't open that menu in between turns. Well, actually, the city-state Pirate Coves are tough. It's actually not really their... Actually, that Pirate Cove isn't that hard looking. Normally they'd have like... Oh wait, that's a Pirate Cove. I'm thinking of the Forsaken Coves with the ghost ships. That actually is one they should be able to handle without too much trouble. Alright, well, we can at the very least start this outpost. I think putting it right on top of the cave entrance makes the most sense because I get the adjacency for the haste berries and this wonder. So not a bad spot, and the oasis for that matter, so I think we just stop right here, plop that down, and then leave. That's all I needed him out there for right now. And then as for you guys, I believe we're ready for this fight. Now I am going to go ahead and get purging arrows up and get running here. That will help. Does hit my mana income pretty hard, but I think, okay, let's just try an auto, because I'm probably going to cast spells in this even if I do it myself. Yeah, I didn't need to, I don't care as much about that guy, but I didn't really need to lose the Shademaker here. I can't afford to replace my armies right now. Alright, so we kind of got the bigger, stronger groups on both sides here, and I think I'm okay with that. Break that cage. I want to be able to move through here. And then I'm probably actually going to bring these guys down this way. Actually, I've got just the job for you, pal. Mow the lawn. Help all these guys move through here a little faster. Alright, so hopefully we can get them to go right down the middle and just walk into a trap. Gross. Okay, so that guy's gonna need a little patching up. I might actually back off since they seem to be fully charging and try to lure them into a worse spot. I am going to link up with that. I'm going to link up with that Guardian there and get that Blood Parasite off of him. And is my leader... No, there's too many guys with Scarlet Plague. That could, if they all ganged up on one unit, could do quite a bit of damage. So I think I'm going to play it safe and kind of stay in defense. Actually, that's technically a magic attack, so they'll be better at the defending part. And in retrospect, I should leave these guys on the flanks because they're great for running around on the sides and causing trouble for the enemy. Let's do something like that and see what their next move is. I got a feeling she'll try to pull someone. Yeah, okay, that's fine. He's got sprint, so he can run away. The bigger question is, can I get my shield to that unit? And I can't. How often can you do that pull? Can't do it for another turn, okay. Kind of need you to get out of there. Yeah, run. I'm going to go ahead and drop Blast Evocation now, I think. In fact, I'm going to use it here and with Ritual of Elements, because that'll help me do more damage. Yeah, there we go. Just mess them up a little bit. And I want to give that thing something else to worry about for a turn or so. So, go after me. Ignore the others, please. In the meantime, you could patch him up, I guess. And maybe my leader can hit something with lightning blades now that I've got a distraction out there. I also want to get this guy a little closer to that Blood Exarch. I guess if I've got a chance to dispel an effect on it, I may as well take the shot. He didn't get it, but that's okay. Leave you on defense mode. Actually, you should be on the other side of that archer. And I'm going to have him ward everybody there, or have her ward everybody there. To get aggressive with the spider, because I could go get up in their face and prevent them from doing anything crazy, but they also have this Dagger of the Right thing, which lets them just do a whole bunch of damage, kind of out of nowhere. I think maybe, can I teleport you here? Okay, I like that. Yeah, that seems pretty good. And then this lets me enter defense mode. So that pressures them. I can then put the spider here and do a web. That could tie up quite a few of them. Yeah, there we go. That pins them down pretty well. Yeah, I think we charge now. Oh, if I'd have moved him up first... Oh wait, he couldn't have gotten adjacent to it. Alright, that's fine. That seems pretty good. Let's do that. Okay, I think I'm good there. Uh-oh. Well, bye, spider. That kind of sucks. Didn't see that coming. A little too aggressive for my own good, I guess. Well, it'll help with the mana income situation. What exactly did he do? Oh, Siphon Blood came back. I misread that. Okay, I thought he still had one more turn before he could do Siphon Blood again. Dang, that was just a dumb mistake. Alright, well we can finish him off here. So now I can move this guy next to him and he'll melt to physical damage. It should be able to just surround him. Decent shot. Is he like a high rank? No, it wouldn't do any good for Glory Seeker. I was kind of thinking I might try to have the hero steal the kill, but I don't think it does me any good. Well, kind of sad that I lost the spider in that one. I don't think that was necessary. I could have played that a little more carefully, but I thought I was good because I thought that ability was on cooldown. Okay, extra defense against missile and magic attacks. I'll have to... Ooh, I'll take Blood Glass in the area. What's the Immortality Stone? It's here for... Ooh, and something it gives Undying. I think overall, I'd rather have the Blood Glass. Blood Glass is pretty good because it helps your units regenerate faster, and that's just going to be good across to everywhere on the map. So let's do that. Now I need to make sure I get that tile before the city-state does. I need to have Astral Peak grow faster. I might be able to clear that now while I've got all these units out here. But they may need to patch up a bit first. Alright, yeah, go back in friendly territory. You split up. In fact, if I can, probably should go back in the city walls.
Hey.
Alright, we'll take care of that in the next episode. Oh, here comes... Or in the next turn. Maybe the next episode. How long have I been going? Yeah, kind of get carried away. Whetstone is coming. So I'm going to need to take care of them too. And finally, Embria and Sanguine are at war, which actually probably means I'm going to get drawn into it before long. Alright. Crap. They have units right there. I need to approach this carefully. I think they may be... They might be defending ones. Is this a mountain tile there? Okay, I should be safe to move here, I think.
Alright.
Yeah, doubt anyone would be able to reach me from here. Oh, wait, except I'm not actually... Never mind, I can't get that from there. Oops. I thought that was the province that the Arcanium or whatever that was is on. Okay, grab the tower. Looks like Nicaret's got more territory to the north. And I'll just keep going west with him. He's basically on a journey to just collect as much Wonderstone as possible. Alright, well, I made it through that battle without needing to get that, so I think I can hold off on that for a little longer. The next big one is Foraging. I think this one is really, really good. It even got nerfed, I think, recently, but it's still... Foraging is still very good. This one, maybe less so. I'm not gonna... Most of my units in the late game will be just my racial units, which is why I'm not totally heartbroken about losing the spider. It still sucks because, like, it's a tier 3, but later in the game, all that's going to basically be replaced by mostly just my Dune Elf units, plus something else that might be a little bit too much of a spoiler to share this early, so we'll save that as a surprise for later. Okay, I think I've maybe got one more turn in me for this episode, so let's drop a quick save and see what this city-state does. I would really like to clear that Blood Glass, but I think that would be... Actually, that battle doesn't really look that bad, to be honest. Warbreeds can be managed, and I have a Copper Golem to specifically help manage them. Most likely, these guys will go pillage the Forester. But at the very least, I'll finally get a hero in my prison or crypt, one of the two. And that gives me potential remains that I could sell. I was just kind of looking at my gold situation and thinking, I wonder if I'm kind of reaching a point where maybe I could start building units in Sunfall again. I don't think I'm quite there yet. I really do want to keep building up my army, but money is just really, really tight. Once I can get the mints up, that'll help a lot. So what's the next expansion for you guys? Probably that tile, and then... Oh, hey, this tile has Blood Glass and a quarry on it. That's really good. Okay, I definitely want to get out there before my city-state does. I do have the town hall upgrade, so it should reach. Yep, he went for the forester. Nothing if not predictable. Alright, let's go down and take care of that. It shouldn't be too difficult. In fact, I think I'm going to tell it not to use spells. Because I don't think I should really need them in this fight. Yeah, we're fine. Got a better pike. Okay, taunted, polearm, immobilized. That's technically better than what my leader has, minus the fact that hers gives her an extra retaliation. But this one's going to do... Well, hang on. Actually, I want to look at something. 20 damage compared to this one, which does 15 physical and 10 astral. Or electric. It's probably worth the trade-off. Part of me would rather disenchant that and use... Because, remember, my build's all about, like, making people weak to physical damage. So if she's attacking something that has, like, a bunch of physical damage weakness, I think this is actually pretty good for her. I mean, I think her original pike is actually better, just because she's going to be doing more of her damage will be in the physical damage channel. So if I can manage to have her poking something that a guardian is standing next to, she'll do just as much, if not more, damage to that thing with the veteran's pike and keep the extra retaliation. I don't really need the taunted effect on her. Immobilized isn't bad. I don't know. I think I'm going to hang on to that pike in reserve for now. I think it's a little limited in its utility because the damage channel is split. It's probably still slightly better, but is it better enough for me to bypass disenchanting it and making a better item later in the game? I don't know. I probably do want to give her this Ring of Deflection. Yeah. She kind of needs to be tankier. And then I'm going to get Arcane Skirmisher. Go this route. Or maybe now would be a good time to get Channeling Ritual. Because being able to cast 2 spells at once is pretty nice. I prefer the free action version. The other one gets you a little healing, but I like the free action one better. Alright, so he went to the prison, which means in order to collect remains, I would have to execute him. And I'm not trying to be a bad guy in this game, so probably try to keep my alignment relatively high. Let's send you guys back to the city for another turn of chilling behind the walls and healing. And then try to go get that blood glass. In fact, they'll be able to move to it faster on the next turn because the city's borders will grow. Almost forgot about my new ritualist, so he can just keep sailing on home. And I gotta get him back in the water. Maybe I could get him on that little tip of the province there. That might work. Yeah, those guys were definitely going after him, but they couldn't reach him. Okay, what is the shape of that province? Okay, you can definitely get in there on this turn. Oh, hey, food. Might be growing that city on this turn. Okay, 76 food. That should have gone to Astral Peak. Yes, it did. Which means that I can get another farm, probably. If my goal is the mint, I can get that other farm, and then... Oh, and I still need the mine, though. I think getting the mine out there might be good. A good next step. No, the more important thing is getting this stuff. The mine can wait. I'll take the other farm here, because that's also going to help my units move faster through that area. The farm is definitely the better choice, and it gets the benefit from being on the sand. Dunestalkers is ready. Sandstorm's fine. That's a pretty good spell. I'll take that. I would have rather had Desertification, but do I want to dump all my mana into casting this now? Yeah, because it doesn't take upkeep. I'm never going to have enough mana to upgrade that wonder. It's 500 is so much. Okay, so what exactly do I want to do with this city? Do I want to build the wall? I think you know what? Since there is a hostile city-state right over there, I think I want to invest in the palisade walls first. I don't want your contact information. I'm sorry. Uh-oh, these two aren't getting along. The giant's far away, so I'm not as worried about him right now. Or her. And then that brings me, I think, to the end of this turn. Yeah, that is it. So I think I need to wrap this one up here, guys. I'm pretty sure I've been going for about 2.5 hours again. I get carried away. I'm having fun with this game. There's a lot of interesting kind of political stuff developing about who I need to be friends with and stuff. For now, I think we stick with her. Her sunless terrain hasn't really been a problem yet, but it will be eventually. But hopefully by that point, I'll have enough extra city stability that it won't matter. At least her and Sanguine are at war now. That's kind of the big update for this game. We'll see if I end up getting pulled into that. I'm hoping I can kind of focus on the city-states that are going to be throwing stuff at me first, because I would like to get them off my back. Astral Peak's set up and running. Capital's doing fine. We're working on our second level of the monument, so making use of our Wonderstone. I think things overall looking pretty good. Just kind of bummed out that I lost that spider in this episode, but yeah, that was an avoidable loss. I just didn't know that Blood Exarch would have that Siphon Blood ability or whatever that thing is ready, because that does a lot of damage. Did not see that coming. Oh well, you live and you learn. But thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. I hope you are enjoying this series so far. I'll be picking it up. I plan to pick it up next week. I do have a busy weekend next week. There's some people visiting, but I'm pretty sure I should still have time to record, so I will let you guys know if that changes. In the meantime, have a good week, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Special thanks to all my Patreon supporters, including Tier 3 supporters Dawson Horner, Devin Larson, Roderick, and Sarah Feingold. Thanks so much, everybody.